baby tree or the fruit, how long it will stay in the mother tree, and the second is the proportion of male and female trees in the plantation.
First of all, as I said, it's more technical issue because we want to leave the offshoots as short as possible. If we make this offshoot, we create the offshoot during the spring or the beginning of the summer in 4 months. In 4 months, it already can be ready to disconnect because the measurement is the quantity of roots. If you touch here, you'll see that there's no any roots yet. Okay, but we try not to hold the offshoots more than a year. Okay, between let's say 4 months to a year. Now, in the nature, because the date palm trees are, we call them two houses, male and female. In the nature, they are 50% of male and 50% of female. And for instance, in Tunisia, they used to take the flowers of the male and to put some branches on each bunch on the tree. So they needed a lot of flowers. Here, when we swallow, when we take out the powder from the flower, we actually can hold one male tree on 100 female, one female tree and 100 male trees. Okay, but still, for the to be sure, and we must collect and preserve some powder to the next period. We hold about one female on, let's say, 25 to 30. One male for 25 to 30 female. Okay. Although it's enough, one male for 100.
Okay. How to differentiate the sex of the fruit, the tree, before they matures during seedling time? How to differentiate this male one, this female one? That's a really problem.
First of all, you learn how to see it. Usually, you see, this is a male tree, okay? It's finished, the flourish is finished because it must come a little bit before the female. The female just emerged, and you can see that the female trees, this is a diclofleur, comes from Tunisia, Algeria. It's a different kind a little bit, but it still emerged. You can still not open flowers. Okay, you can still see the flower that the cover is still cover them completely. It won't open. And how can I differentiate between this diclofleur to the medjool? You learn how to see. You can see that the leaves are a little bit different. The leaves, you can see these leaves and you can see these leaves. You see the difference, okay?
Yes.
And also the color of the flower. This is now white to yellow. It will become orange. It will become red. The medjool is orange. Barry is green. Barry, the Iraqi kind. Okay?
Before before the flower, how can we can see now whether it's female or female? For the flower.
Yeah, that's the fish. No, the origin, let's say the two kind of origin for date trees. One is the seeds. The seeds, as I told you, statistically show 50% male and 50% female. But the mutation is so much, So we don't reproduce from seeds. Okay.
Totally.
Sometimes you find a mutation, a good mutation, like in bananas, also in date trees, and I know that in South Africa, in North Africa, and in Iraq, Iran, they look for this mutation, and the majority is some kind of a mutation, because in Morocco they defined close to 200 kinds. 200 kinds. But actually, they have about, let's say, 5, 10, 20 good. All the rest, they grow because they come from seeds. But sometimes you find a good mutation. The offshoots of female as male are 100% a copy, a duplicate of the tree itself. Instead of crazy, and but 100%, it carries the same genetic
Offspring.
value. Okay, so we grow offshoots, and when you plant offshoots, with male offshoots, you know that it will be like this. Even you can see that the male are a little bit different. There's some narrow and high. There's some thick and lower. The offshoots will carry the same
True type.
value. So you know what you plant now with the offshoots, the tissue culture. They take an offshoot, and that they actually cut it. And I know that in Rosh Hanikra, I don't know about the laboratory in France and in DPD in England. They succeeded to reach to almost 2,000 tissue culture units from one offshoot. Okay, they started with tens and they reached to thousands. Okay, so and every part must carry the same genetic.
How many days we can store the pollen?
We put it in the freeze. Okay, and when it in the freeze, together with we call it silicone or silica to keep it dry, because the humid kills the quality of the powder. You can hold it even more than 1 year, because usually in the beginning of the new season you must use a preserved powder, because sometimes you don't have enough powder for all the plantation from the trees. We usually hold 1 year, not more than 1 year. Sometimes, we give what we left from last year to people who want to the tree in their garden, or
At what temperature? In the fridge?
minus 18, like
Like
the freezer, yes, minus 18, like an ice cream.
Normal plants.
So you happy?
Yeah.
But wait, we have a hectic schedule. Danny is a very gentleman. He answers nicely. But if you live here, you won't be an expert in management. Bear in mind, what he learned in 40, 50 years, you cannot learn in 5 years. So, last question.
Last question. This module and Barhe, which one is the best one? These two
Best
fruit
performing
variety, module and Barhe, is two varieties, mostly popular in our country.
Okay.
Which one is are you recommend for our
I will
dryland
tell
area?
you. First of all, you can't forget the Diklatnu. Diklatnu used to be the best kind in North Africa and in the Middle East. The people who went from North Africa to Mecca took these
If you like to talk and not to listen, go further.
dates with them on the camels, okay?
Yeah.
And every country, in every place, they tried to plant it, and actually until the second half of the 20th century, they couldn't grow it in any place but Tunisia and Algeria, and few small places in Egypt and Sudan. The Californian and the Israeli with modern agrotechnic, we learned how to grow them here in a different kind of climate. Okay? Because in Israel you can grow them from the north, part from the Kinneret Lake until Eilat. And the soil and the climate becoming different. Okay? This was the best. And I still think it's still the best. You know, it's like a good wine that you don't know when you don't know how to drink a wine, you don't know how to recognize the value. So you start, you know, with the easy one. Medjool used to be very small and sweet, fruit, and the American changed it to be very big and beautiful. Okay, that's why it's very popular. It's very sweet. If you want something more aromatic, less sweet, but more aromatic, especially, you have the Diklatnu. Okay? The barley is something else, because the barley is what we call a humid kind, you know, the sun-humid kind that grew in the lands of the rivers, like the Khiani and the Glul in Egypt, and the barley and the other kinds in Iraq, Iran, because barley need a lot of water. Also the Khiani. Actually, like it's not half tropical, but you know, it's very humid climate near the rivers in Iraq and in the delta of the Nile. So barley, you must give him more. Barley can drink very close to the when the fruit become close to be ready. Barley can drink 1 cubic meters and a half every day. Okay, 20 to 50% more, because the barley fruit is all the time humid. The Medjool fruit has, when you pick it, about 28% of water. The barley has 70% of water. Okay? Barley, it's a matter of taste, but barley, the problem of barley is that you must put it in the fridge and it can hold hardly week to 10 days, and then it's like, you know, it's even less than grapes. Okay, like cucumber, but it's very tasty, and some people. What's special in barley is that people eat it yellow.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it yellow.
Now, because the Medjool gives the grower a lot of money, there was a lot of money of investigation, of researchers, and it has found that Medjool is very healthy for diabetes, because it doesn't raise up the sugar, and it also has influence on cancer. Okay, the Medjool is found very healthy, and there are some research ongoing right now that try to find all these special values of the Medjool for health, and it can be almost like a drug, or add to a drug for health. That's what, for me, puts the Medjool on a high level, because I really prefer the Diklatnu. And I heard, but that athletic people, or triathlon, or people that marathon, they take few Medjools to keep the sugar, to keep the energy up when they lose all the energy, because it raises you up with energy, but enough to eat 1 or 2 and your energy goes down.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Danny, and now we